All right. So,
All right.
first of all, we have a guest here, right? So, Olympus Insights is a very interesting project that I want to learn more about. So, our guest here is coming from Olympus Insights, but we'll let them tell you about it because, I'm not that guy. Hey there, Nate. How are we doing? Oh, I can't hear you.
Bro.
You're muted.
You're muted.
That's okay.
What is it about these streams? Every time I do one of the streams, I just am not having success with the audio. So
No, you're good, man. How are you doing?
Yeah, really good, really good. Just had a bunch on this morning. Had to get all that sorted and then jump on in.
Nice.
But yeah, going
This
really good.
Fantastic. And then so this is Unforgettable for sure. Unforgettable name, or Ryan from Hops on Cardano.
Yeah, it's got to be Unforgettable because Moose don't like us. He don't ever show up to our streams. We're on too late for him. He's in bed.
It's only like 9 o'clock at night for Moose, isn't it?
Yeah, but he goes to sleep before.
But apparently that's too late
for him. Yeah. Yeah. But so Nate, tell us about yourself. So you're the co-founder of Olympus Insights. Tell us a bit about that. What are you doing in this space? How long you've been here? All that stuff. Let us know about you.
Awesome. Where do I start? So I'm a school teacher. I've been teaching for just about 10 years now. I'm working in math, science, and now currently in physical education and health. I've been I first got into the crypto space back in 2018 when one of my friends at my bachelor party was trying to pay for some of the entertainment using Bitcoin. And that obviously got all the boys' attention, and we're like, what is this thing you're doing, and how does it work? And at that point, for him, it was just a money-making vehicle. He didn't understand it or anything like that. He just got in at a good time and like maximized on his profits. And we sort of bought in at the peak, and then it went down, and we're like, oh, that sucks. And sort of spent a little bit of time away. And then leading into the 2021, my boss at work was real big into Cardano, and he started talking about it and dropping all the alpha about like why it's good, telling me about the Charles videos and things like that. And so it sort of started to pique my interest, being that there's such an educational basis behind it, all the good they're trying to do going through Africa and all that sort of stuff. And that's where I really started to sink my teeth into the space a lot more and started to really learn. And over the course of the next few years, I started to dive into the Cardano ecosystem, the NFT side of things, the FT side of things, and spending a lot of time in Twitter spaces and hearing people screaming out for more education around everything that we're doing here. And then obviously as the bull market was running, students at school, people at the pub, my mates, my family, they'll be like, what's a Bitcoin? How's your Bitcoin doing? How many Bitcoin are you holding? Like whatever it might be. Everything was about Bitcoin, and they didn't know what a Bitcoin was or the concept or anything behind it. And I was like, we need, like, people in Web 2 are screaming out for education on this thing. People in Web 3 are screaming out for more and more education about the finer details of the space. And someone needs to do something about it. While this is going on, we've just been through the pandemic period where, as school teachers, we had to find ways of engaging students from home in learning content. And I was like, using a bunch of different systems. They were all okay. None of them were perfect, but they were a means to an end at that point. And then all of a sudden, all these ideas converged, and I was like, well, this is a huge opportunity to create a learning platform for people from Web 2 and Web 3 to gain more knowledge, really empower themselves, develop a lot more financial literacy, a lot of Web 3 literacy. And that's where the concept for Olympus Insights and the Ollie education platform was born.
Dude, that's awesome.
Nice.
I was going to say, you want to hit him first, Desert?
Oh.
That was painful.
No. I just knew that. I just knew what he was thinking. I knew what he was thinking, and then I knew what I was thinking, but I was gonna let him go first.
Go ahead.
Well, so that's awesome. Tell me about this platform. Tell me how it works. What is it that makes it unique? Because that's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. And there's a lot of things that make it unique, and I'll try to address all of them, but feel free to jump in at any time if you want more elaboration on any of them. because I've just spent the last few days finalizing and uploading the light paper. So I've got so much stuff in my head at the moment that if it starts to come out all at once, just feel free to stop me and ask questions. So
real quick, do you have a website? All right, there we go.
Beautiful. Okay, so this is our website, olympusinsights.io, and this will probably help guide me and structure everything that I want to share. So our vision, big, hairy, audacious goal, to democratize and decentralize education for the greater good of humanity. So not only is it a big goal, it's a goal that we very much think we can achieve. And tying into that, our mission to empower people across the world to embark on a journey of lifelong learning, unlocking their full potential and taking control of their financial future. So we've got a lot that we're going to do. We've got a solid business model, solid financial model behind us to help make all of these things happen. And I'm excited to share that with you. So the global opportunity. So a big part of what we're doing is linked around developing nations. So education is for everyone. But our platform has a learn to earn model, which I'll speak to you about more in a moment when we get down to that part of the site. And the learn to earn model can have an effect, a positive effect and a positive impact for everyone around the world, but it can have the largest and greatest positive effect for people in developing nations. So we know in developing nations, there's over 3 billion people that have mobile phones with internet access. So we've built a platform that is web-based, is Apple iOS-based, and is available in the Google Play Store when it goes live. So we've got people beta testing the platform at the moment. We know there's over 650 million students in high schools around the world that are not getting educated about Web3 at all and are getting very little education about finance. And the online learning market is around $270 billion by the end of 2026. And we know that's growing at a compound annual growth rate of 15.2%. And that's going to reach around $800 billion excuse me, in the next 10 years, according to Ernst & Young. So Ollie Education Platform, this is what we're building. It's actually built. We're just finalizing the last bits and pieces before we launch publicly in July. So these are the three parts of the model that make us very different to anyone else. So I guess people say, oh, there's education platforms like Khan Academy or Education Perfect or whatever else it is. They're all good for learning, right? But none of them are incentivizing you and paying you to learn. So our learn to earn model is a huge part of our differentiation point. So every course that is on our platform allows users to earn experience points, which are exchangeable for our Ollie token. Whether the course is free, which 90% of our courses are going to be free. It'll only be the courses that are made by specific creators that want to put a paywall on their courses for whatever reason. It could be that they've spent their whole life learning that material and they think it's quite valuable, similar to if you're paying for a TAFE university or college course. So creators have the ability to put a price on their courses. So even if that's the case, learners are still getting rewarded by us for participating. But yeah, so our learn to earn is basically us rewarding you for increasing your knowledge about everything that's on our platform. Create to earn, we're rewarding creators for putting content on our platform for free. So if you put a course about whatever it is that you have your expertise and proficiency in, and you don't put a price tag on it, we're going to reward you with Ollie tokens for doing so. And I should click on that. So it's got a bit of the dashboard for course creation. If I could speak, course creation. And then we've got our refer to earn model because we think this is going to be a big part of how our platform goes viral. Bringing your friends onto the platform with you, as little as 5 or 10 a month, is going to be quite rewarding in terms of the amount of Ollie tokens and what the dollar value of that is as you're going through your journey. So yeah, that is a huge point of difference for us versus any other education platform around the world. Then we've got 3 distinct markets that we're working with. We've got the learn to earn, which I've sort of given you a quick description on just then. We've got Ollie for business, which if you're familiar with it is kind of similar to, I guess, the teachable kind of market, where we're focusing on giving businesses, corporations, NFT or fungible token projects or blockchain projects, I should call them, or whoever it might be, an opportunity to have their own closed private instance of Ollie, where they can share materials that they don't necessarily want to be public. They might want them to be only for their community, or they might want them to be only for their staff or their team members. So it could be proprietary information for training OH&S, upskilling within their ecosystem that they've created. But also this is where we see a huge opportunity, the micro business market. So there's a lot of displacement for jobs happening around the world, and there's a lot of people that are in financial situations where they're trying to develop a side hustle, I guess, around their full-time work. So the Ollie for Business model allows people to have their own community of people that are paying them directly as like a subscription fee to participate in whatever it is that they're doing, whether it be 3D printing, flower arranging, carpentry, crypto and Web3, whatever it might be. It puts the power of Ollie into the hands of that person or that business to really to grow and have a lot of awesome stuff going there. Ollie for Schools is kind of where this idea was born, and the other two markets is where we expanded the concept to, was about giving teachers, students a online platform that is engaging and at their fingertips 24/7 to do learning, whether it be the class lesson for the day, homework, assessments, all of that stuff just wrapped into a nice, tidy platform that has a whole bunch of AI integration into it to support learning. And so, yeah, some really cool stuff there. I don't know if you guys have any questions because I'm on the other screen at the moment, so definitely yell out if you've got anything. Otherwise,
no, I think you should keep going. I mean, this is an awesome concept.
Yeah, thank you. And we had a very interesting conversation with some of the people from Corn Mafia and from Mav 100 in our space the other night, where we were talking about how literally from the moment you get to school, there's a bank or a banker that shows up and they have this fun little program that's all about like essentially getting you to start saving money. But what it's really doing is acquiring your data about how old you are, how much money is in your account, and at what point in your life are they going to be able to start hitting you with things like credit card offers. And there's no real education around that. There's a whole bunch of fine print, and people will be like, oh, I don't have $1,000 in my account right now to go party, but I can get this credit card because my awesome banker that's been my friend since I was in year 5, since I was 5 years old, has said they're going to give me some money so I can just go spend it. I pay it back and I just have a certain amount of time. There's not a whole lot more that goes into it. And then all of a sudden they up that offer, and then you know what I mean? I won't get into a real rant about it. So AI, so this is a really cool thing. Like everyone knows that AI is exploding at the moment, and AI is going to revolutionize the way that so many things are done, so many jobs are done, the way education is done. And we want to harness the power of AI to make learning as rewarding as possible. So my co-founder, Stocktrade, his business, his software business that he runs, is in a position right now where they've been employed by Grief Australia to build a AI grief counselor bot, because basically they don't have enough people on the phones to be able to hit all the people that are calling in and give them all the attention that they need and deserve when they're dealing with such situations where they're experiencing like whatever level of grief it may be. So that's something that they're currently building, and they're going to take their learning from that so we can build an AI tutor which will not just tell someone the answer, because we know that's easy enough. We don't want something to do that. We want something that helps people learn. So we're building an AI tutor that will be like a coach, that will know, it will grow with you as you use the platform more. It'll learn more about you, where you need to be extended, where you need to be remediated, where your strengths are, where your weaknesses are. And ultimately, as this develops and as our platform continues and we grow and we keep building, the way I keep describing it to people, I think the easiest way to understand, if you're familiar with Iron Man, is we want this to almost be like your own personal Jarvis. So Jarvis is obviously a crazy supercomputer that is all powerful because it's fictional. But that's kind of the concept. We want this to be like an AI companion that you can use in all parts of your life to help you to tackle all situations, because the more efficient you can be in achieving your tasks, the more effective you can be and the more you can get out of that moment. So AI is playing a big part in what we're building. So the roadmap. So you can see where we are now in Q2 2024. Right now we're beta testing our platform. We've got a bunch of people on there now that are either creating or testing the courses from a student perspective. We go live with the platform in the middle of July to the public. So I'm like incredibly excited for that. It's been such a long journey going from conceptualizing the idea to the initial build phase to where we are now. It looks incredible. And I think if we have time, I could probably give you a little sneaky peek. So yeah, we're establishing more and more partnerships. We've just announced 4 in the last 2 weeks, which are people that are incredible and they're very value aligned with what we're trying to do. So I'm going to give them a quick shout out. So we've got Consensus, Thomas and B that are training Ugandan refugee women in a train-your-trainer model. So they can learn everything they need to know about blockchain, operating on Cardano and the broader Web3 ecosystem. They're doing like a face-to-face model using Google Meets, and they've got like a little center set up in Uganda that the women are attending. And it's really incredible. If you jump onto Consensus and have a look at some of the stuff they've posted, they're able to get devices into the hands of all these ladies, and we're going to help them scale because they're catering for about 10 people. We want to give them the opportunity to be able to cater for hundreds or thousands or hundreds of thousands of people that want to learn. MAV100, who are working with that World Mobile Token model, helping students. Right now, it's in a lot of what they're doing is in the US, but they're going to expand to set up air nodes and Cardano nodes and learning how to do the technical things behind that, because under 18s can't KYC to a centralized exchange and buy crypto. They need to earn crypto inside the space. So they have these nodes and these Cardano nodes where they can actually do that. Corn Mafia Guild, absolute legends, helping us out with doing some translation of our courses and a number of other things. And we're going to help them to really, but with that platform, obviously scales are always a huge part of it, but to help break down and explain how their DAO operates, how the different parts of their DAOs operate. They're going to jump in and give people a lot of education around the whole Cornucopia's ecosystem as well. And the Tokyo wallet. So we've got an ambitious goal. You can see down there, Q1 2026, of having over 100,000 users on the platform. And we think having users on our platform is great, but we want 100,000 users on Cardano. So our partnership with Tokyo Wallet is going to put in the hands of every single person that signs up for an Ollie account, they will have a Tokyo Wallet created for them. So not only are they instantly onboarded to our platform, they're instantly onboarded to Cardano. Then we'll have courses I can actually show you around how they will use the Tokyo Wallet to do everything they need to do within the ecosystem, whether it's adding funds, whether it's using ADA to purchase things, setting up different payment models, interacting with DEXs and marketplaces and all sorts of things. So yeah, so by the end of 2026, we're hoping that we've brought in 100,000 new users to Cardano. And obviously if they're on our platform, they're earning our token, and right away they're getting accessibility into the ecosystem. So anyone that is currently unbanked, which is a large part of the people that we're trying to add value to here, that can't walk up and put $100 in their bank account, send that to Coinbase or Binance, and then send it to their Cardano wallet because they just don't have that availability, they can get onto our platform, start learning, earn a bunch of Ollie, and use it in the Cardano ecosystem.
Let me hop in real quick. Okay, so yeah. I think that this is amazing, and I feel like Desert's probably having that same brain moment about this. You all are going to be rolling out your public, the whole thing, basically towards July is what you were saying, around July.
Yeah, mid-July that'll be launching the Ollie education platform to the public, so everyone can jump on there and start learning.
I do have a question about Ollie. So Ollie is going to be a Cardano native token?
Yeah, correct. So Ollie is a Cardano native token, but our learning content is blockchain agnostic. So we're going to have ways with our partners and even with Tokyo Wallet that people will be able to interact with whichever blockchain ecosystem they're from. So they can come in, they can be learning, they can be earning, they can be doing all that sort of stuff. And we're not going to force people onto Cardano. Obviously, they're going to get their Cardano wallet for starting, and that should hopefully help them to dive into our ecosystem. But if someone's a Solana head and they love Solana, they can come over, they can learn, and then they can do Solana stuff, and they can put Solana courses on here. Because I think a lot of us agree that while we love Cardano, and Cardano is where Cardano's home is where the heart is, all that sort of stuff, there's so much room for a multi-chain future where the different chains are interacting 100%. With one another. because it's that old team adage that together everyone achieves more. So the more that we're working together and spreading that knowledge across everything that everyone's doing, the more success that we're all going to have, and the more we're going to be able to push global mass adoption of this whole Web3 space. Yeah, so Stocktrade's the co-founder of Olympus Insights, and he's the software business, and his business is the ones that are actually building the platform. They're working with Grief Australia to build an AI grief counselor.
So they are like literally building it? Are they using another model? Are they doing their own like data sourcing and machine learning and everything like that?
Yeah, so they've got it's a shame Stocktrade can't be here because I won't do justice to the tech side of what they're doing. But he is constantly telling me that and he sends me videos every day of different stuff to watch around the development of AI. And all the different LLMs and what they're currently offering. And even if people have had a chance to watch the recent ChatGPT 4.0 video, you can see how much advancement's been made from what's already there. And then they're using, as you said, all the machine learning, their own ways of training the bots and stuff like that from Grief Australia, because they have to have very specific scenarios and very specific ways that the AI agents are going to be able to reply to people, because grief is not a easy thing to negotiate, and it can be quite fragile. So what they're doing there is, I definitely wouldn't be able to do justice to answer exactly how they're training the bots to make sure that they're taking care of all of that. But I know that that's a major project that he's working on, and the learning from that is going to be adapted to ensure that we can have a very advanced AI agent that can train people of all ages and learn how they learn, like I said, the ways of extending them, remediating them, guiding their knowledge. So on our platform, I haven't had a chance to give you a little tour yet, but there's a whole range of goals that you can set. So you can say, this is what I want to be able to do. And then the AI is going to be able to learn from that. And it will say, this is a course. This is the course I want to recommend. There's so much that comes into it. I forgot what else. Yeah, but obviously the roadmap's been on the screen for a while now, so I won't read every single thing out, but big parts of it is when the platform goes live in July, we're adding more and more levels of gamification to make it more engaging. The AI gets more and more advanced as we go. The beta for the personal tutors down here in Q2 2025. A huge thing we're doing for our rollout is our ambassador program, which I can tell you guys about. Where was I? So the scholarship program. So scholarships are a big part of what we want to do, giving opportunities to not only deserving individuals, but deserving entities. So we can either give people scholarships for their college and university in like the IRL setting, give people like scholarships for accessing the paid content on our platform. We can give scholarships and like charitable services in terms of donating like an Ollie for schools or an Ollie for business to a school or a business that might not be in the most strongest financial position to be able to get into something like that. Because that's just a big part of what we're doing. Like the school I work at right now, I know how stretched the budget is. I know that the kids that I'm working with are from lower socioeconomic backgrounds. They're doing it tough. They've got a lot of family hardship. And to go and like add something like this to their book list that they have to pay for, it's just not a viable option. Whereas a big part of my passion is like, I want to build this to give to the students at my school, so it could be a way that they engage more with their learning. And even outside of the Ollie for Schools model, the amount of students that I've had in my classroom that said, like, especially when I was teaching maths, so I would care a lot more about this algebra or this trigonometry or whatever it might have been at the time if I was getting paid to be here or paid to learn this. And like this whole time I've been going, man, there's got to be a way. And so you know what, we went and built it. So yeah, students, they'll be able to get onto the Ollie for Schools to do their closed learning that the school is prescribing, that is curriculum aligned for their particular jurisdiction. But then there's no harm in them coming over to access the Learn to Earn platform, because we're going to have a whole bunch of guidelines and things behind the scenes to ensure that all the courses are safe for all ages to be able to access. And then even just on a base level, we're finalizing the legal around the exact age restrictions for the Learn to Earn. But at this point in time, we're setting the minimum age at 13. to access that learn to earn model, just similar to what all the social media platforms are doing, just because we have to be protective of young people accessing the platform and ensure that the content that they're getting is appropriate for them and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, we're doing a lot of work behind the scenes to ensure that that's all as like the most delivering it all in the best way possible, I guess. And regulatory compliance is a huge part of that, and safety for the users is a big part of that as well. Diving forward from the roadmap, we've got our ambassador program. So the Olympus Insights ambassador program is different to what a lot of ambassador programs are, and this is a model that stock trades use like all around the world, with different businesses that he's been a part of, because like across his life he's worked with like I think it's even conservative to say like hundreds of startups, and getting their businesses rolling or helping them to come back from a deficit and to really get them into a strong position. And yeah, this ambassador program is one of the models he uses to help to make that happen. So these aren't just people on the street walking around saying like Ollie's great and giving you a high five, or check out Olympus Insights and slapping a sticker on their chest or something like that. Our ambassadors are essentially an on-the-ground sales team of people that have sign-up targets and KPIs that they need to achieve. So I mentioned, and I haven't really gone into it too much, but a big part of our rollout is through developing nations. So when we're looking at this learn to earn model, for someone in a developed nation, Australia or America, wherever it might be, making like $2 to $5 for completing a course, that's not a life-changing event. It might get you your coffee paid for each day, so you go do your course, get your coffee the next day. That's cool. But for someone in a place like Nigeria, where the minimum wage is $70 per month, and the average wage in Nigeria is $200 per month, all of a sudden that $2 to $5 they're earning for a course or for referring their friends, or it's actually substantially more than that for creating a course, it becomes like potentially life-changing money that people can earn for participating in empowering themselves with more knowledge. And instead of paying for a coffee, you could be paying for the groceries for the week or the rent or something like that. And really helping to give people more and more opportunities, not only from education, but from a financial standpoint. So when we dive into a country like Nigeria, and we're going to have a full-time paid ambassador, country manager earning $30,000 a year, we're talking about, I think off the top of my head, is about 15 or 20 times the average yearly income. So we're going to get a really good person in this role. And under them, they're going to have a team of ambassadors that are part-time, probably uni students, earning $8,000 a year. And like all of them, so the country manager has to train the ambassadors, monitor the ambassadors, ensure the ambassadors know what they need to do and how to do it and how to facilitate their events and things like that. But then the country manager and the ambassadors will have targets of onboarding 100 new users per month. So you put 6 ambassadors into a country, that's 600 people per month, 7,000 people onto the platform per year. And then you start going to multiple countries, and you can see how this model really starts to grow and expand. And that's not even accounting for the refer to earn model, where people are telling their friends, hey, we can get paid to learn over here. You should come check this out. So you can sort of get a picture of where that 100,000 new users to not only our platform, but to Cardano is actually a very realistic number. Like once we start rolling all of these things out. And yes, that's where the ambassador program really makes a big difference. So that's open to people around the world, and we'll be onboarding more and more country managers, more and more ambassadors as we go. But a big part of our rollout initially is in those developing nations. And the reason we mention the part-time ambassadors being uni students is because generally study isn't a full-time, like 40-hour-a-week job. It could be, but this is an opportunity for them to, instead of going to work for Macca's, to be hosting events on campus and things like that, to tell more people about what we're doing and get them to onboarded to the platform. University students also have a high value for education, hence they're at university. Most of the time they're going to have devices to allow their learning to take place at the university. And a lot of the universities have upwards of 10,000, maybe around 50,000, or even up to 100,000 people on campus that they can be accessing to tell about this. So yeah, we think that, or we know the ambassador program will have a lot of value and a lot of success as it goes. We just want people to be learning and empowering themselves and giving them the opportunity to live a better life. Things we're also looking at doing is mapping our courses with people like the Self-Driven Foundation back to Web 2. So people get recognition of prior learning for college applications or course credits and things like that. And then also talking with Son of a Bitcoin from Galacticats about his Block Jobs platform and how we can link our courses as career pathways to get a job within the Web3 space. So obviously a lot of Web3 is done on devices. If people have a device to learn, they potentially have a device to work. And particularly in these developing nations, if they can be getting courses completed, earning, getting a verifiable certificate, which I'll talk about in a second, but that links them to a particular Web3 job and pathway, then they could all of a sudden have access to a much more high-paying job than what they may have had access to in their current situation. And that's where, like, we're talking about, I think it's life-changing what we can do with the learn-to-earn model. But if we get people jobs in Web3 and in IT and all that sort of stuff from our training, that becomes not only life-changing for a person, but that could be an entire community or an entire village or something like that that has such a tremendous positive impact. When I talk about certification, we're in talks with Cardano Foundation and Atala Prism around how to link SSIDs and DIDs to our courses so people have their self-sovereign identity. You link their certification via an NFT to their SID or their DID, and then it's verifiable that they've completed this course. They've passed the course by achieving whatever the pass mark is on that particular model, and that's why they're actually a solid candidate for the job that they're applying for. So we've tried to make this as all-encompassing as possible, and the partners and the people that we've been talking to in the past weeks and months to really tick all of the boxes is just incredible. And we're even in a meeting, I forget which day it was, but with the Intersect MBO decentralized education working group, and just throwing around a whole bunch of ideas around this and the positive change and how we can make that impact around the world. And the people that were in the room that were all just trying to do the same thing, it was incredible. It was motivating and inspiring. And I encourage anyone that is passionate about Cardano or passionate about Web3, join Intersect. It's free to sign up. Jump in. So you join, they give you the links to the Discord, and then you can look at all the different working groups, and then you have a voice and an opportunity to actually affect change. And that's a huge part of decentralization, giving everyone the power to do that. And as we go through things like the chain hard fork, and we get all the new decentralized governance, the Cardano, and more power from the treasury being unlocked, and all these different things that the top organizations within our industry are going to be able to do, your voice is going to go, it's always been there, but it's going to go a lot further as the decentralization enhances. So get on in there, jump on the Intersect website, sign up, come and have a positive impact on the change of not only our blockchain, but the whole Web3 space. There's still so much more to go through. So I will let everyone know that our light paper is live. You can find it on the Olympus Insights Twitter, Olympus Insights Discord. I'll throw it in the chat as well. So if anyone's in there that wants to have a look, they can. And I think, did I put it? I don't know if I put it in that official links, because the official links that I shared with you is actually from the light paper. So the link itself is probably not there. Putting on, or none of the content that we're asking creators to put on is exclusive to our platform. So if you're on Udemy, you can bring your content to us and put it there. If you create content with us and you want to take it to Udemy or Teachable, go for it. This is your opportunity to enhance learning, spread your knowledge, be a part of the greatest knowledge transfer, at the most convenient and efficient knowledge transfer, and probably the most rewarding knowledge transfer of all time. And that's where this really is, kicks off, I think, and makes such a positive difference, because we want, our focus. I've made over 100 lessons on finance and Web3. I've got a friend who's a financial planner and a financial manager that's coming in to spread some of his knowledge. The first time that we were speaking together, and the things he was talking about banks printing more money and everything like that. We didn't even have to talk about crypto or anything like that. And I was like, yeah, this guy gets it. And he knows the perspective before we even started talking about Web3 stuff. And he was trying to get courses like this into schools, but being met by resistance from principals because it's either he wasn't even trying to get paid for it. It's just like it wasn't necessarily direct curriculum talking about that part of finance. And whether that's by design from governments wanting people to remain financially illiterate, or if it's a pure coincidence, but hey, I'll let the audience can decide what they think about that. He just was met with hurdle after hurdle and cancelled meeting after cancelled meeting. And he was just like, I can't do it. I can do my financial planning as a business and help people to understand their finances and things like that. But I'm not going to be able to get in and affect a positive change. So that's where we talked to him about this model. And like people might say, oh, well, you're just going to get met with the same hurdles. But that's where Ollie for Schools comes in. It's not about the financial education in the Ollie for Schools. It's about education that teachers are doing every single day. They can draw stuff from our Learn to Earn platform into there because there'll be a content library that they can access for lessons. But the Ollie for Schools model is about teaching school content. It's for teachers to put at their students' fingertips 24/7. And that's one big part of how we essentially get in the door from that perspective. But then we've got a partnership with a company called SchoolZine. So Stock Trade worked with them about 10 years ago. They were underwater and struggling, and he helped them with a variety of different models to get to a point now where they're actually surviving and thriving and doing incredibly well. Now, what they do is they put a digital newsletter into schools. So if you think back, I know when I was at school, we used to get a colored piece of paper with a newsletter on it. You chuck it in your bag, it ended up scrunched up, soaked from your water bottle. And by the time it got to your parents, there was no chance of them reading it. So that's where their solution came in. And then they've grown from there. So they've got a 10% market share on Australian schools. That's about 1,500 schools in Australia and then about another 500 around the world. So not only are they offering newsletters, they're offering a bunch of a suite of educational services, but they didn't have a learning management system or an education platform. And that's where, again, the match made in heaven. We're bringing this education platform to life. They wanted an education platform, and they're going to be another on-the-ground sales team helping to put the Ollie education platform into the hands of students around the world by accessing schools, by going to education conventions and doing all those sorts of things. So I don't have to go around knocking on the doors of the principals at every different school that I want to work with. I will be doing that, but that's not the only thing that's not our only strategy.
That's awesome, bro. I like it.
That's massive. Well, this has been an amazing stream. I cannot wait. Look, we're going to have you on again as well to keep talking about this, especially as you're coming about these different, milestones and then having these new announcements. I mean, launching a token is not easy for a lot of reasons. But I think that everything you have going on here with this platform is amazing and something that I believe we both can agree we really would like our audience to be a part of. Right?
Yeah.
Yep,
I like it. I think it deserves a more a long form look at everything that's going on and
a deeper dive
like that. Yeah, definitely a deeper dive.
Sounds good. I mean,
something everybody should know about.
Something that takes a while for, anyways.
Right.
But you're fantastic.
I'd love to, and I'll bring Stock Trade along next time as well. So thank you very much for having me. It's much appreciated. And
absolutely.
Yeah. And that would be awesome. Bring Stock Trade. That's your partner in this whole venture, right?
Yeah.
To have both of the founders on. Yeah, I think that would work.
And we ran out of time for a sneaky peeky of the platform, so I guess you just have to wait for next time, everyone.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you guys are gonna have to tune in next time.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. This has been an amazing show, and we'll see you next time around.
Thanks, guys.